Diversity Abroad. This is Alexandra Johnson speaking from University of Virginia. I am a third year here, and I'm a Russian and Eastern European Studies major, and I am very excited to be going overseas this summer to study in Russia in St. Petersburg with the Bard Smolny program. Now, the reason that I want to be studying abroad this summer is twofold: academic and career focused. To start sort of at the beginning, I grew up the daughter of two diplomats and have moved around the world a lot in my life, and when I was very young, from the years of 1994 to 1998, I lived in Moscow. And I remember these great experiences that I had there, attending an international primary school and purchasing my very first pair of ballet slippers after going and watching the greats at the Bolshoi Theater, and shaking President Clinton's hand when he came and visited the U.S. compound in the compound gym, and having to sit and wait on the school bus for President Yeltsin's motorcade to pass every day on the way home from school, and all these very politically relevant experiences, which I never was quite cognizant of when I lived there. And I never, for example, with President Yeltsin at the time, he was just this friendly face that I saw smiling on all these posters and on the little Russian hatching dolls in our living room. But only since growing older and learning more about the country's diverse peoples and languages and cultures and the unique spot that Russian history and politics were in at the time, in the 90s, after the privatization after the Soviet period, have I begun to really understand Russia's immense geopolitical significance and my own desire to study and work in this region in the long term. And at the heart of my academic and career interests is not only a simple fascination with Russian culture, but an interest in Russia as a country of key importance to U.S. national foreign policy today, which is why I'm interested in pursuing a career in diplomacy and working with the U.S. Department of State in embassies overseas, hopefully Russia. Today, Russia is one of the world's top producers of oil and natural gas and coal, and it has these crucial energy resources, which gives it a hold on many regions of the world that are very important allies and partners to the U.S. and Europe and Asia, and it also remains Russia also remains the only country in the world that has the proven capability of challenging and threatening the existence of the entire United States with its arsenal of approximately 8,000 nuclear warheads, which is disconcerting. So not only does it have this hold on many of our partners, but also any sort of political instability that might come in the future in Russia is extra disconcerting because of its nuclear capability. And under Vladimir Putin now, the standards of living and the national perceptions of stability, they've improved on the surface, but there's a rapidly growing divide between the rich and poor in the country, and with the heavy-handed election tampering that has been happening recently, that we've been hearing about in the news in the past months, also don't bode well for a stable political situation maybe in the long term. And it's also a geopolitical situation there, where it's sandwiched between Europe and Asia and the Middle East, and therefore is a huge place of importance for the U.S. foreign policy in the long term for that reason as well. And so diplomatic ties are going to be very important and fundamental to averting the potentially disastrous political or economic predicaments in U.S.-Russian relations. And in my professional future, it is my dream to be able to work to maintain and promote understanding between our countries so that our relations can remain and flourishing as we go through the years. And hopefully as a political officer or cultural attaché with the Department of State, I'd like to facilitate these dialogues that are so important. And in order to effectively prepare myself for public service regarding Russia, I need to go and I need to study and learn the language and learn so much about the culture and the day-to-day life. And I can learn how to converse with people in their own language and learn colloquial expressions and expand my vocabulary and really, as the lingua franca of the post-Soviet world, Russian will be just an invaluable tool as a diplomat. And also, it provides a good base for other Slavic languages, which I might need to learn as a diplomat who will be traveling to different countries. And also, in terms of Russian culture, I don't only want a touristy experience where I'm going and seeing historical sites and just viewing the city at the surface. I think that the true value of me going overseas for 7 months this summer and in the fall will allow me to connect with host families and friends in the Russian university and hopefully get to a point where I can be taking Russian classes with them and be volunteering in the community and really allowing myself true immersion in the country so that I can understand where people are coming from and utilize all these skills and this knowledge that I've been gaining as I've been going through school and learning all about Russian history and literature and politics and furthermore, in my major, as I move towards completing it and going into my final year, I'd like to write a thesis, and I'm sure that the application of my theoretical knowledge into experiential time overseas and really synthesizing everything I've learned overseas will allow me to create a great thesis as well and really put all of the knowledge that I've learned in college to good use and really solidify all of that. And with a program like, with being involved with the Diversity Abroad Network and blogging regularly, it will be great practice for me to not only share with everybody what I'm learning, but to synthesize and analyze myself what I'm learning, and also to practice for my career in the future how to communicate what I'm experiencing to my fellow Americans and people at home or all over the world, to spread understanding and to spread knowledge about other places in this rapidly globalizing world. And through this dialogue and communication, peace and safety can be achieved more greatly. And I would love the opportunity and the great amount of help that the Diversity Abroad Network can give me, and hopefully I can contribute to creating a meaningful and engaging network worldwide, both with the Diversity Abroad Network and in the future in diplomatic work. So thank you so much for listening.